Welcome everybody. This is our week third of consecutive. I'm proud of myself. We do this every Friday. Rajiv is our lawyer, immigration lawyer, and Rajiv today I want to start with one question which I was asked, and I was like, oh, this might be interesting to start with.
Sure.
What is difference between NOIR, NOID, and RFE? So if we can like define three and like how they impact people. So let's start there and then we'll go from there.
So request for evidence, RFE, is when government wants additional information on a pending case. You filed your case, your H-1B or your OPT, and government says, wait a minute, we still need this information. Okay. They'll send you a notice. They'll typically give you 70 some days. I always forget, 78, something like that. You respond, and RFEs are always taken seriously, but they're not the end of the world.
Okay.
Then comes notice of intent to deny. Okay.
NOID.
So they also call it NOID. I find that quite annoying, but it is. So that basically means, dude, we've looked at your case. We're going to deny it unless you convince us that we shouldn't deny it.
Okay.
So sometimes they can send it after you respond to an RFE. Sometimes they can send it as soon as they get the case because they are looking at the case and it can't be approved.
Okay.
But they still want to give you a chance. In some applications, they are obliged to do that before they deny. In some others, they being the nice guys, they are just send out a notice of intent to deny before they deny the case.
Okay. And how much time do people get when they have to respond?
Notice of intent to deny, I think, gives you either 10 or 30 days.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And notice of intent to revoke basically means we approved your case, and now we noticed, we shouldn't have approved it. We are going to revoke what we approved. So the first two, RFE and NOID, are issued in pending cases.
Okay. So they are not approved yet.
NOIR is when the case has been approved. I'll give you an example. So let's say you said, I'll be working from La Jolla, California. I'm on H-1B. Then USCIS sent some people to investigate, and there is nobody in La Jolla, California, because you are partying in India. Okay.
Right.
So government says, we went to La Jolla, there was nobody working there, notice of intent to revoke. And he says, wait a minute. UD is still working for us. It's just that we can't control him. He's all over the globe. Okay.
Yeah.
So here is evidence that he works in India. Here are his paychecks. Here are the pictures of him in front of Taj Mahal.
Right.
Here is a copy of his entry stamp in India. So basically, when we submit evidence like that, I would say most of us win about 99% of these cases, all of them. Typically what happens is, with experience, going in, you know what the government is going to ask for. That doesn't mean your guess is perfect. I would say, again, quite accurate. So we can warn people before you go, and guys, this is going to be a problem. Be careful with this. Okay. So not to worry. If you get any of these, just make sure your case is on solid grounds. And if it is, you don't need to worry about any of these.
Okay. So the people who are receiving NOIR, which is an NOIR, intent to revoke, are like, and these people are like, they are assuming that they are getting NOIR. Do they usually give the reason that why they are revoking?
Yeah, of course. They give a detailed reason, and they give you time to respond to that detailed reason.
Okay.
I also want you to note that many of the times the NOIRs come in the context of a university that doesn't have accreditation. Okay. So when you were studying, maybe it had accreditation, then it lost accreditation. So you just have to submit evidence that the university was accredited when the time you were there. Or they approve your quota case by mistake. Okay. And 5 years later, they say, oh, no, you're subject to the quota. You've been working on H1 for 5 years. It happens. Okay.
Wow. So
Uh,
even after 2 years, 3 years, they can still
yeah.
do NOIR. Okay. Got it.
So that's the way it was. By the way, before we go any further,
Hmm.
I want to thank one of our community members,
Hmm.
Vijay. I he was able to get some help, and he sent me a very beautiful watch and said, "Would you please wear it on the next seminar or webinar you do?" And I
Yeah.
said, "Look, first of all, I'm working from home. The watch is in the office. Second, don't ever send me gifts. I have no room to keep gifts. Okay, please. I'm happy that it worked out for you." And then he tells me, "You don't have to worry. I'm working. I have money." I said, "No, I understand, but I would rather have you go out and have a few beers with friends, and just don't waste money on people like me. We do it because we enjoy doing it." Okay.
Yeah.
And lastly, please take it back. I'm never going to use it. So if you please email me and take it back, you can use it. You're a young man. I probably will never use it. So, and you don't have to send us any gifts. UD might like gifts. I don't need any gifts.
That is very kind of you. That's sweet of him. Yeah.
Very sweet.
Yeah. It's
He said
also.
he talked to many lawyers and did many consultations. And there was some little point of law that I happen to know. It can happen. Immigration law is quite complicated.
Yeah.
Even most accomplished lawyers can sometimes not know a point. So it worked
Right.
out for him, and we are happy.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. That is the like motivation for us because that's why we
Yeah,
do it.
see,
So
Yuri, that's another thing I want to visit with all our young audience. I don't want to give shiksha, but I do want to share my experience.
yeah.
In my experience, if you base your happiness or sense of contentment on what other people get or give, then you're a loser already. Why? Because you can't control anyone's behavior. Okay. So if I do UD a favor and UD doesn't even say thank you, if I'm depending upon that thank you, then I'm going to be sad, even though I did the right thing. Okay. If
Yeah.
on the other hand I take pleasure in doing the right thing and I don't worry about what UD says, then immediately my reward is there. You see,
Yeah.
I think we
True.
shouldn't worry about what people say.
Yeah.
You should see the comments. Some of the people don't like what we do, and they leave some say very weird comments, and I just don't bother to respond. I could care less. I know what I did, and I know what I did as far as I could. So therefore, guys, just have fun in what you do. Don't worry about whether you are making $1 trillion or not. That will come in time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably share like a fun fact of you at the end of
No, I
end
can
of
do
the
that.
stream.
He's wrong. He's lying. In the first place, I never did it. Second place, if I did it, he misunderstood me. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you
Disclaimers.
tell me. I mean, at the end of the stream, you can tell if I was right or wrong. So, all right, let's start the Q&A. CBP
Right.
canceled my F1 visa at Chicago port of entry under the application for admission withdrawn. Will the embassy issue? Yeah.
Well, Mr. Kodam, Navneet ji, one good thing is they did not exclude you, which means you don't have a 5-year bar. So, for example, if you get an H1B, you should be able to come back. Now, I don't know why they revoked it. Maybe they were not convinced. I'm sure you have more facts. Maybe they were not convinced that you were a genuine student. But obviously, they did not seem to have put a 5-year bar on you. That's a good sign.
Okay. I'm in India. I would like to bring my mother to USA as she's alone in India. Can you tell me what my options are?
Pritam, tell us what your visa status is.
Yep. Right. Hi, Yuri and Rajiv ji. I had my H1B approved 2019 and revoked later. Never went for stamping and didn't have an approval notice. All I have is case number. Can any employer do a cap exempt or transfer?
Okay, that depends. If the revocation was after October 1st, you have a good chance.
Okay. Yeah. Right. I have H1B and now I'm starting a process for Canada PR. So my question is,
Yeah,
can I handle both visa status?
yeah.
Hmm.
Saad, you're a man with many options. Yeah, go for it, man.
Hmm. Yeah.
No problem.
Yep. All right. I came back to India in July 2020 due to COVID in the middle of STEM OPT as my F1 visa expires this December. Can I have an interview waiver if I go back this fall? Uh,
Um, huh, that's a tough question to answer. Interview waiver. Are you trying to get another F2 visa or F1 visa? Oh, it's expiring in December. So can you have an interview waiver? Yeah, on paper it looks like you can. The answer is yes.
hmm. Okay, because he probably needs
Another F1.
extended. Okay, got it. Yeah. All right. Our attorney did a clerical mistake in notice of filing document for which Department of Labor denied and said to go for motion to reconsider. What is the probability of such cases to be approved? Hmm.
Not good.
Hmm.
Normally, what happens is these kind of cases are very difficult to fight. Palm does not give us second chances, and it can happen. No matter how hard we try to be absolutely accurate, we can make mistakes. So I
Hmm.
always advise our clients as well as you guys always double check the paperwork, make sure there are no errors in the paperwork. The errors can come in. Unfortunately, most of these processes are very unforgiving. So if a mistake has been made and it was made by the lawyer, there are some areas, some specific issues where the Board of Alien Labor Certification Appeals has said that these are minor issues. We can ignore them. But
Hmm.
if it is in the regulations, so I don't know what the problem is. If it is in the regulations, they won't forgive it, even if it is a
Hmm.
missing dot.
Hmm. Wow.
So hard to say, but these are usually hard cases to win.
Hmm. Thank you. Welcome to India. I'm enjoying the mangoes.
Yeah.
uh, Rajiv, how long has it been for you since you've had mangoes?
Mangoes, we get plenty of mangoes here. I'm not very fond of
I mean,
mangoes.
it's not like same. Is it same like an Indian mango?
Now you get very good mangoes here. Very, very
What?
good. The Venezuela mangoes are very good.
Hmm. Okay, I might have to like
By
try.
the way, there is a story about Mirza Ghalib, the famous poet.
No, I mean I've
A
heard
very
of
big
him, but I
author of poetry, yeah, Urdu
yeah yeah
poetry.
yeah yeah yeah.
Mirza Ghalib used to live in Delhi and very fond of mangoes.
Hmm.
One of his friends was visiting, I think it was Mir, and
Hmm.
he says Mir and he were sitting, and Mir didn't like mangoes.
Hmm.
So there were a couple of spoiled mangoes that had been thrown out, and a donkey came and sniffed at those mangoes and walked away.
Hmm.
And Mir says to Ghalib, he says, look, even donkeys don't like mangoes. And Mirza Ghalib goes, right away, he goes, only donkeys don't like mangoes.
That is funny.
I'm one of those donkeys. I don't like mangoes.
Hmm. Me and my spouse, a US citizen living in USA, applied for marriage-based green card from my 130, I-130A, 485, 864, 7065, only
No, I
remaining
don't know.
I-6 693. Is there any form?
I have no idea. I think there should be a G325A. I see. I don't remember the forms. Somebody else takes care of all that. Luckily, I haven't had to remember forms for the last 25 years or even 30 almost. So I don't know anything about forms. Whatever the instructions say, you have to follow them. I think
The follow-up
G325A.
question is: we live in two addresses due to work, which is 3 hours away. Will that be
No,
problem?
I'm not just, I had a case where two professors were married and she was living in Colorado. He was living in California. No issue.
Hmm. Okay, this one is controversial. Applied two H-1B filings using consultancy without having job offers. My H-1B is luckily got picked with my current real company. Will I be safe as my H-1B did not get picked with the other consultancy?
Okay, so the important thing to remember here is as long as the companies were not colluding with each other, and they are not connected with each other in any way, the consultancy and your company, you should be okay. But make sure you tell your lawyers what happened so they can advise you. Personally, I don't think it should be a problem. If there is no collusion, there is no issue.
Okay. Currently on F1 visa. Oh, sorry, F1 stamp OPT. My H1B.
Pritam is about mom, right? That's the question.
Oh yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah.
So Pritam, if you go to if you Google Foreign Affairs Manual, U.S. State Department, and you go under B1, B2 visas under 9 Foreign Affairs Manual, Volume 9, and there is a set of visas. So B1, B2, one of the uses of B1, B2 is sometimes there are close family members who don't qualify for derivative visa. For them, you might be able to use B2 visa or B1, B2 visa to bring them here for long term, for years. So this applies to moms. Okay, you are on F1, she doesn't qualify for F2. If you're on H1, she doesn't qualify for H4. Okay, so but she might be able to come on B1, B2 and keep extending that every 6 months for a long period of time. It's an accepted use of B1, B2 visa.
On F1, this year itself, my internship employer filed H1B. It is picked. If I drop school after my internship completes, can I stay in USA by filing change of status before H1B activates on 1st October? Interesting.
See, I had a consultation done with a young lady, a Chinese young lady, a few weeks ago. And the same question was raised in slightly different circumstances. The idea is, I don't have status because I don't have cap extension. But I filed my H1B beginning October 1st. So I said, I have no idea what the government is going to say. From what I remember, they used to say that you can stay, but you can't work. Is that still the policy? Can you stay and not work? There are other examples of this. So, for example, let's say you are on B1 visa, tourist visa, okay, and your visa is expiring in 3 months. We know it's going to take 7-8 months for B to F conversion. Once you file your F1, even though you are on B1 that's expiring in 3 months, you won't have status for 4 or 5 months. It's okay to do so. They changed the policy. So it's a very similar circumstance here. What I would recommend, Mr. Daya, is you call USCIS customer service. Have your lawyers call them. Okay, and let's see what they say.
Follow-up question: can he continue next semester on F1 visa?
Yeah, that's the easy part. He doesn't want to. That's
right.
What's happening.
But right, and this is probably for me. But if he continues and he's after October, once the H1B is approved and change of status happen, then he can drop out. Right.
Well, he can still go to school. He can go to school full-time or part-time on H1B also.
Okay. But he doesn't have to. He can drop out from. Okay.
He can.
Got it. All right. Can a student under 21 years old book apartments from their native country, live off campus? Immigration problem or not if I do this?
Student under 21 years old can book apartments. I don't know. That depends upon the school rules. There is no immigration rule on this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at Chico State, the university I used to go, there are bachelor students who can still leave off campus.
Some universities require on campus, right?
Yeah, first 2 semesters, or at least first 2 years they require.
Yeah,
I know that after 3 and 4 they can, but again, like Rajiv said, it's university dependent.
It's up to you. It depends upon the university. Double check with them. This is a local rule, no immigration law against it.
Okay, sorry. My friend was reached out by multiple consultancies for job offers since he has 6 years experience candidate. He was selected for many of them. They filed his H1B as a future employee. Some H1Bs are picked. Not sure what the question.
A notice of intent to deny. Or an RFE.
Why is that?
Multiple filings.
Okay. Yeah. I'm an Indian working in London as a software engineer. Can I apply for F1 visa from London? What are my chances, or should I travel to India for interview?
Since you are legally in London, you can apply from London. But London can always say, look, you are a citizen of India. We can't assess what your ties to India are, which is all nonsense. So they can refuse to give you an F1, but that's not a negative thing. Okay. But come to think of it, if they deny it, then your visa has been denied. Are you still eligible for interview waiver? So I don't know the answer to that question. So should you go to India? Well, I mean, if you don't mind taking a chance with your interview waiver thing, then applying from London is an option. But if you want to take no chances and you're very conservative, then applying from India seems to be a good bet.
If a person is working in two companies on contract, but if he wishes to join full time and start H1B conversion, will there be problem if we work with both companies until H1B is complete?
So until, assuming you're on OPT, and if you are working for two companies legally, you can continue to do so until October 1st or whenever your H1B kicks in.
Okay. If applied 5 H1B, applied only, okay, only one picked up from a genuine company. What should I be cautious about?
See, again, it's not illegal to apply through multiple companies. It is illegal to apply through multiple companies that are colluding with each other. If these companies are a group of scammers who are trying to increase your chances, you're going to have a problem. But if they are all genuine companies with genuine projects and they wanted you, nothing wrong with that.
I'm in my initial OPT, February 23 to Jan 2024. My visa expires this month, May 2023, and I want to know if I'm eligible for STEM extension.
No problem. Visa expiration is not an issue.
Yeah. The only thing, Prithvi, is when you go out of country, you'll have to have a stamp back.
That's not legal advice. He's talking from personal experience.
And that is my personal experience, yeah. But does he need
that's
stamp?
True. That's true.
Yeah.
For STEM, he does not need it, but if he travels outside, he will after the visa expires.
Yeah.
Immature person. Okay. If my lottery got picked, my lottery got picked and confirmed by HR, but how can I verify this is true? Ask for a screenshot.
Okay. I have H1B visa from non-profit. Can I apply for Canada PR? If yes, can you explain the process for the same?
So applying for a permanent residence to a third country while you hold an H1B is not an issue. The procedure is whatever the Canadian procedure is. On the US side, it's very easy. There's nothing to do.
Yeah. Okay. 2 H1B has been filed behalf of me, and both employers are 100% unrelated. So will it create any problem?
I don't think so. I mean, as long as the offers were genuine and you accepted, well, there is no firm offer, but both companies are genuine. They are unrelated. I don't see what the problem should be. But if one of the companies that you applied through was one of those handful of companies that applied for everybody in the world, then they might have a problem. So I don't know what the nature of the second company that you applied through is. If it's a genuine company and did not apply for, 8,000 H1Bs, you should be okay.
Can multiple IT professional certification in cloud, DevOps, security can be considered for O1A visa?
I in the beginning of I would say early 2020s, no, early late 1990s, 1920s. No. So about 3 years ago, I'm getting all this messed up. So 2019, about 2019, we won a series of cases based upon just certifications. And those cases were, it was at least 2 cases I remember. One was some kind of ERP certifications. And we were able to show that out of, let's say, 50,000 ERP professionals worldwide, Only 10 people had all those certifications. Then the second case was some kind of networking and network security. Also, the same idea that very limited number of people had all those certifications. But government is not true. It's not an easy, comfortable case to depend on for an O1A. So
yeah. Okay. I do not have last name on my passport, and it's been an issue in every possible document, and my name is different on all these documents. SSN, EAD card, my visa, I-20.
I think the easiest thing, Mokshita, is you just go ahead and do a legal name change through the court system. It's easy to do, doesn't cost you much money. You can do it yourself. Just contact the local court wherever you live and just say, well, how do I do a name change? They'll send you a bunch of forms, typically 2 or 3 forms. You advertise. Court will give you a judgment that says your name is officially this. You take that, get your social security number revised. Take that to the US, to Indian consulate, tell them to renew a passport with the new name. Okay. So that's how you do it. The only thing you'll not be able to do is the visa stamping. And that when you go for visa stamping next time you can do.
And she can do it in USA, like name change? Okay.
Just check on the Indian side if there's a problem with that. I don't think there should be, but please check out because I can talk about the US side. That should be, that is acceptable on the US, every US document. Visa, they don't change, but you'll have the old passport with the corner cut off or punch through, old passport, and you'll have the new passport. That combined, you can still travel with that, right?
Okay. Student on F1 OPT are eligible to work more than 40 hours?
Yes.
Okay. Currently, I'm on H-1B visa. I'm looking for my green card application through my employer, EB2. What is the expected timeline?
Depends upon where you were born. If you were born in India and you are married to somebody born in India, maybe 10, 15 years.
Yeah. Okay. Follow-up question. Yes, H-1B was approved in 2019, revoked in February 20. But my employers, am reaching out. They're saying it's not possible to use a CAP exam. By the way, I'm from India, so now he's in.
Oh, we've talked about this many times before. There have been, government has said many times that unless you get a change of status or a visa stamp, we think you are still subject to the quota. Okay. But as a practical matter, we have filed many H-1Bs and they were approved, even when the stamping was not done.
My current team is splitting into 3 teams with 2 new managers and my current manager. If I need to report to a new manager, what are the implications to perm process?
See, the structure of the company doesn't matter as long as your job description remains the same and job identity remains the same. So that's something your lawyers can tell you, not me. I don't have that information.
If applied with 4 companies and picked up from 3, and if will not file H-1B petition with none of them, so will it be going to any problem? If not filing H-1B petition, then no RFE, no NOID.
I'm a little unclear what you're asking, Pooja, but I'm thinking what you're asking is in the future. That I've got 4 companies and got picked up by 3. If I don't file H-1B, can I have trouble in the future? And I've answered this question yesterday in our community conference also, that they can always, it's easy to keep track of people who had filed for multiple H1s earlier. So if they want to make an issue of it in the subsequent years for the lottery, they could. But I think it's unlikely. We don't have enough data to make a decision definitively. But if I were to make a guess, I think they're going to go after the companies, not the individuals. Individual, they just deny the cases.
On H-1B, can I travel to different countries like Mexico, Colombia, Canada? Because I work remote, so...
Why not?
Repeat customer. My EAD start in February this year, and I was working on OPT, but got laid off this month. I have gotten a voluntary research position in my university. Can I travel to India on VR and come back?
What does VR mean?
I think volunteer research
Voluntary
position.
research. Okay. So yeah, I see. As long as you have a job and you can substantiate that, um, make sure that you talk to your DSO, get your I-20 in order before you leave, and carry evidence that you have a job, even though it is unpaid job. I would even carry some evidence of my bank statements and all to show the CBP. If they ask, they may not, that I have enough money to support myself. I don't have to work illegally, but I'm looking for a job in the meantime.
Okay. Can OPT be used in second master if one does not apply for OPT? Oh, really? Okay. So if I did my master's in computer science and never used OPT, and
Mhm.
then did second master, I can still do OPT and STEM
Yeah,
extension.
yeah.
Okay.
STEM
But if
extension you can do twice in your lifetime. OPT you can do for each successive level, but if you have not used it, then you can use it at any level.
okay.
So you can
Uh,
get OPT in bachelor's, then OPT in master's, then OPT
yeah,
in PhD.
PhD.
STEM
Yeah, yeah,
OPT
yeah.
you can only get twice.
Okay. All right. I don't remember her original question. This is a follow-up question. Our attorney mentioned wrong co-address in notice of filing
So
document.
this is the case where the labor cert had an error.
Oh,
Attorney
yeah,
made
yeah, yeah. Okay, got it. Yep.
wrong company address. They probably won't let it go because company address is where you are doing your um, recruitment from. So if the company address and address where you're supposed to work are different, that might be okay. But if the company address is also where you are supposed to work, that might not be okay.
Hmm. Hmm. All right, we'll do the last question and then do the fun fact. I will get H1B approved this October 2023. My company is ready to file for I-140 in a year, probably October 2024. When I expect I-140 earliest, including premium processing. Hmm.
So, Sayed, or I don't know if you go by Sohail, because Sayed can also be a honorific, because I think Hazrat Muhammad was a Sayyid or Baba Bulle Shah was a Sayyid. I don't remember. This is the family of the Prophet, the
Hmm.
Sayyids. So I think let's go with Sohail. That's probably so. Sohail, it depends upon which country you were smart enough to be born in. If you were smart enough to be born in any country other than India, then you made a good choice, and your whole green card could be potentially wrapped up within a couple of years. But if you are
Hmm.
born in India, it's like planting a mango tree. You will plant it, and your grandchildren will eat it.
Hmm. All right. So the fun fact, which I was gonna say in the beginning, because you were talking about do like have fun with what you do and not make trillions of dollars. So Raj, I think most people don't know this, but like you don't have a big house,
No, I,
and
I've lived in the
people will
same.
be shocked for the size of house you live in.
I live in a one-bedroom apartment condo. I've lived in this condo for 30 years, and I actually feel that I have one room too many. I don't really need two rooms. So because I'm out a lot, I just my area is very easy to walk in. It's like you can think of Chapati in Mumbai or Connaught Place in New Delhi. It's
Mm,
you walk out and there's a lot of life. Average
mm,
age of an Arlingtonian. I live in Arlington, Virginia. Average age is about 24,
mm.
25. So I fit right in.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was shocking to me, and it was like I felt
Yeah,
like
I've,
lots
I've
of.
looked at houses, but a single person, what am I going to do with a lot of space? I have no time. If I can't be taking care of my house, of course we can hire people, but then you
Yeah,
become dependent on people. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
this is easy
yeah.
enough.
But I mean, I love that mindset though. like do what you love and then have fun. And
See,
like I think most people try to chase these big houses and then they are trapped because they have to now pay the mortgage forever. So
I invite people to read up on or listen on YouTube to the Stoic philosophy,
yeah,
Stoic.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
The Stoics were pretty cool people.
yeah.
And I also believe that, see, when I go shopping, every now and then I screw up, but mostly when I go shopping, I pick up something, I look at it, say, can I do without this? If I can do without this, I won't buy it. So that's my idea of shopping. So I never go shopping. If I like something, I just order it online. And if it's
Mm,
not, you can always return it. So keep life
mm,
simple. I don't work with people I don't like. If somebody
mm,
is giving me a hard time, I'll just say, I can't work with
mm,
you. Sorry, you must be a nice guy, but we are not meant to work together. I have
yeah.
returned many cases. I don't care what the size of the company is. But the
Mm,
companies that we work with them for 20, 25, 30 years,
mm,
or
mm,
individuals too. And I had a guy. Oh, so we started with him with an L1 visa. He's a
mm,
um, Wharton MBA. Okay. We did his L1. Then we did his L1 extension. Then we did his green card. Then we did his daughter's green card. Then we did his citizenship. Then we did his wife's citizenship. Then we did his mother-in-law and mother's green card. And now we are doing L1 for his friend's his younger brother's company, and that's going to be the same. So
mm,
same people for decades. You know.
mm, mm.
Yeah,
Someone
right
did.
on. Stoicism makes a lot of sense. The basic idea is, and somebody asked me to summarize what Stoicism is. I say, first of all, um, you know, um, most important thing is know what you can control, focus on that, and don't worry about what you can't control. Number one.
Mm.
Number two, if you get knocked down, suck it up and move on. And number three, be a nice guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love it. It
Those
looks
are
like
the
this
three
like
easy.
this is a burning question, so I'm picking up, but we'll call it after this. My H1B picked up for 2023. I'm certainly willing to travel alone with my wife and daughter, but my wife is pregnant and expected in October. How can I do stamping?
Why should that be a problem? I am confused. So just because your wife is pregnant doesn't mean she can't get a visa stamp. I don't know what the issue here is. Clothing
Yeah,
bazaar.
how can I do stamping? And also, they don't really need stamping, right? Like
My
they
H1B
can.
got picked up. I'm willing to travel alone with my wife and daughter. So travel alone with two people, that's kind of, I don't know what you mean by that. And I think what UD said is also probably true. Do you need to even travel if you're in the United States? If you're
Mm,
outside the US, the fact that your wife is pregnant does not mean that she can't get a visa. She still can get a
mm,
visa.
yeah, yeah. All right. That was it. Thank you, Rajiv ji. We'll meet. Hopefully, we'll continue the streak. We'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy
Bye.
your mangoes, my friend.
I will. I will. I'll eat
Take
on
care.
your behalf because you
Uh-huh.
don't like it anyway.
Take care.
Bye.